Hey guys, this is the Craps Fan. Time for another video. I have got a strategy I want to introduce to you. It's pretty complex and it's going to take a while to explain it. So I'm going to do two videos. The first one is going to be an introduction to the strategy itself and description of how to play it. The second part will be actually rolling it out. So stay tuned for that one. I'm planning on posting them both at the same time. I call this strategy Buy Your Point. When you're playing the don't, and this is a don't strategy, you know, a lot of people don't like the 6 and 8. It's hard to be against the 6 and 8 because the likelihood of their coming is only slightly less than the 7, and you're going to lose more when you're against the 6 and 8 than you are when you're against the other numbers. So it's preferable to be, you know, here on the outside, the 4, 5, 9, 10. So I've come up with a strategy that allows you to get onto these numbers for a cost, but until you do, you will either have no cost or a small income. Actually, a decent income if you're really lucky. So let me show you how this works. I've got a when I roll it out in the other video, I'm going to be playing with a $2,500 bankroll because I'm going to be betting $100 on the don't pass. So what happens is you bet $100 on the don't pass, all right? And then we want to cover everything other than these point numbers that we want so that if we roll any of those other numbers, we get paid, or if at very least we break even. So the way we're going to accomplish that is with hot bets. And if you're not familiar with hot bets, they're one roll bets. You're probably familiar with them in the sense of the 2, 3, 11, and 12. These are effectively hot bets. They're one roll bets that you're betting that on the next roll, this combination is going to come up on the dice. It's the same thing for these. So all of these are just for one roll, and then they all go away. Obviously, a maximum of only one of them can win. So we're going to be utilizing these. We're also going to be using the Whirl bet, which is a combination of the horn and the any 7. Now, my layout here says any 7 pays 5 to 1. That's not really right. It pays 4 to 1. My layout's a little wonky in different places. So ignore that. But the Whirl bet, whereas the horn bet, as you know, has to be in multiples of 4 because you're effectively betting equal amounts on these 4 numbers. The Whirl bet has to be in multiples of 5 because you're betting equal amounts on these 4 numbers and then the same amount on the any 7. Now, the payout on this is a little unusual. If you hit 7, essentially it's a push. It doesn't win, it doesn't lose, and that's because the any 7 pays 4 to 1, but then you're losing that 4 on the other 4 things that you bet. So it's a push. If you hit for the Whirl bet a 2 or a 12, instead of paying 30 to 1, they pay 26 to 5 because you have to factor out the any 7 portion of the bet. If you hit the 3 or the 11, they pay 11 to 5. Yeah. So then back up here, the hot bets, all these hot bets, depending upon whether they have 2 ways to come or 1, the ones are frequently known as hard ways, then they either pay 15 to 1 or 30 to 1. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. To protect our $100 investment on the don't pass line and to make sure that it can travel or it can be up against the 4, 5, 9, or 10, we're going to set up a system of bets that gets us to that point. So to start with, we're going to put $15 on each of the 7s. Okay, so the 4, 3, the 5, 2, and the 6, 1. Each of those have $15 on them. Then we're going to put bets on the hard 6 and hard 8. And the combos are under here. So the 6s are here, the 8s are here. On each of the easy 6s and easy 8s, we're putting $10. On the hard 6 and hard 8, we're going to put $5 each. The payouts there are the same, 15 to 1, $10 at 15 to 1 pays 150, $5 at 30 to 1 pays 150. Additionally, we're going to put $10 on the yo, because as you know, as a for the don't player, the yo is our nemesis. We hate seeing that yo. 7 eventually pays us, once we've got something going, but yo on the line just takes. We're going to neutralize that guy and actually make him pay us a little bit. So the remainder of the bets here are 5. So I've got bets on the 5s, and I've got bets on the 9s. All right, just $5 on each of those. So up here, $15 on each of the 7s, that's 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 105, 115. 10 here makes 125 on the hot bets, plus 30 in the world. So all of this is $155. All right, all that to protect our little $100 here on the line. But you'll see how this works out. All right. So let's walk through what our different rolls would be. Okay, so if we roll a 2, this is actually going to be our best number. All right, 2 is going to pay us right here on the don't pass line. These are all going to lose. All right, but the world is going to pay us. It's actually going to pay us $156. 26 times 6. But now we're going to lose all the rest of these, which is $125. All right, so our net for a 2 is going to be $131. One of each color. Very nice. All right, so for the 3, something similar happens. It's not quite as good. We get paid on the line again. Here, instead of 26 to 5, we get paid 11 to 5. Okay, and since we have 6 units here of 5, it's 11 times 6, which is $66. So let's pull that out. 66. So these are winnings, but then we have to subtract out what we're going to want to put back up in hot bets. Again, this is $125. So we'll take out 125. So, that's going to net us $41. All right. Now, on the other side of the horn, the dreaded yo. All right. Here we're going to lose this. That hurts, right? We're going to lose all of these as well. So that's 115. Now, here, we're going to win that same $66 that we won for the 3. And we have $10 on the yo itself. That's going to win us $150. And that's what's going to make the difference. This is what we've lost on the line. So these are our winnings right here. This is what we lost on the line. So we're going to lose all of that. So this covers our line bet. This is going to be 125 minus the 10, so 115. So $115, leaving us with, that's right, $1. Yo wins us $1, which is better than losing this a lot. All right, so let's settle that back up. Now how about the 12? Now the 12, of course, does not pay us on the line, bar 12, but all this will lose, this 125 here will lose, but we do win here, that $156 on the world bet. So with the 125 that we lose on our hot bets, we net $31. All right, now let's move from the extreme edges to the extreme center. to the 7. All right, with the 7 hits, we're going to win one of these 3 hot bets. The other 2 will lose, and then all the others will lose. The whirl will be a push, so that will remain, but it won't win. It won't win or lose. We are going to lose our don't pass, so that's going to be lost. Okay, that's a push, but one of these guys is going to win us $225. Now, 100 is going to cover our pass line bet, or our don't pass bet, and then 100. This is again 125 minus the 15 that we on the winning number. Say it was a 6-1. It's 110. So let me break this down to red. So that 125. Now 110 goes to put all these bets back up, leaving us with a net win of $15 on a 7. So on the don't pass, we're winning $15 on the 7. Not bad. All right. Now let's move to the 6 and 8. 6 and 8 are a little more complicated because it depends upon whether they come easy or they come hard. So let's say we have an easy 8 or an easy 6, either way. All right, the world bet is going to lose. The yo is going to lose. All of these are going to lose except for whichever one hits. So for the 6-2, there we go. That's our winner right there. All right, again, this is 125 minus that 10 is 115. But this 10 is going to pay us 150. All right. So 115 plus the 30 that we're also losing on here is 145. We won 150, so once you subtract 145 from the 150, you're left with a net profit of $5. So an easy 6 or 8 will pay us $5. It's a similar mechanic for the hard 6 or hard 8. All right, but in that case, because the bet here is only $5, that extra $5 that we won in this case for the easy is out here in the rest of the bets that got lost. So we don't win that. Effectively, a hard 6 or hard 8 is a push. So we don't win, we don't lose. Now, of course, if there's a 6 or 8, the point is going to get set. So if we have the 8, now we've got a point of 8. We don't want that. We do not want a point of 8. Okay, we didn't, in this case for the hard 8, we didn't win anything, we didn't lose anything. We're going to take this bet off, and this is the reason. Actually, I should have mentioned this earlier. You don't want to be the shooter. You just want to let other people shoot for this strategy. And the reason is, if you are the shooter, even though you can normally take down your pass line bet, that's going to be a contract bet for you, because as a shooter, you have to have a line bet, either on the pass or the don't pass, and if all you have is a don't pass bet, it's stuck. You don't want that. So you're letting somebody else shoot. Now you're going to take, for the next roll, you're going to let this guy move on over to the don't come. The mechanic is the same. Don't come, don't pass. It all is just a matter of whether there's already a point established or not. Okay? You know how that works. So that's how that's going to work for a 6 or 8. If we get a 6 or 8, it becomes a point, we're going to say no action, and then we're going to move our don't bet back over to here and replace all of these with our winnings. All right, now let's say that our point we either roll a 5 or a 9. All right, let's say we roll the 5. Now in this case, all of these bets are going to lose, except for the one combination that we have, okay, which is in this case the 4-1. That's our winner right there. All right, so this $5 wins. Everything else, the $155, that's the other $150, loses. This is going to pay us $75, plus we get to keep the 5 that won. So $75. So we lost 150. We won 75. All right, so 75 minus 150 is minus 75. So to get this point, cost us $75. Now what we're going to try to do is win this bet with the 7. The odds are in our favor, so that we can erase that deficit and try to gain some. Now, since we're down $75, all we have to do really is rely on our line bet here. If we win that, we're up 25 because 100 minus 75 is 25. If we want to put odds on there, then we're just increasing the amount that we might win, but we're also increasing the amount that we might lose. Yeah, so that is the case for the 5 or the 9. For the 4 and 10, all right, we have not put any hot bets here. I've got a variant of this strategy in mind where we might cover the 4 and 10 in certain ways, or just redistribute what's up here to spread it out a little bit. But right now, for this first take, we're not covering the 4 and 10. So if we get a point of 4 or 10, all right, we're going to be losing the entire $155 that's up here. That's going to be the cost of getting the 4 and 10. Now, of course, the odds are in our favor to roll the 7 before the 4 and 10, 2 to 1. Of course, if you've ever played the don't, you know how fickle that can be, and suddenly the 4 and 10 show up so frequently, it seems. But yeah, that's the idea, is that the odds are well in our favor when the point is 4 and 10. So now we've lost $155 to get to this point. All right, so if we win this, we'll win 100 back, but we'll still be down 55. So we're going to have to play odds, and because the odds only pay 1 to 2 to win that extra 55 just to break even, you're going to have to bet 110 in odds, and that's just to break even. And of course, if you lose this, that's just that much more that you've lost. But let's say we're going to bet $200 in odds to win 100. All right, that'll give us a net of plus 45. So this is the strategy. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention for that. Like I said, you do not want to be the shooter for this, because you don't want to get locked into pass line. Again, when the point becomes 6 or 8, you want to take no action, and you just want to move your bet over to the don't come until somebody hits that 8 again, and then now you're back down here until you get onto one of these numbers. All right, so the idea is that you are paying to get on a number that should be more likely to roll the 7 before, and let's hope that can work out for us. In the next video, essentially part 2, I'm going to start rolling this out, and let's hope that the dice gods are in our favor. So I will see you on the other side of that.